Hey guys, gals, friends, and pals. This is Paul Acevedo of Windows Central. Tonight I'm joined on the mic by Tyler. We're
Hello.
going to play some Raiden V for Xbox One. This is the latest game in the Raiden vertically scrolling shoot 'em up series. It's currently available only in Japan, but I believe an English release is supposedly coming. So we'll see how that goes. Because the publisher Moss, I don't think they've released anything in America before, so it'll be interesting to see if they can pull that off.
I have Raiden 4 on my PS3, but I have not played it
Oh
before.
man, you could play through the whole thing in an hour. Might as
Yeah,
well make time for it. You know, I actually liked Raiden. Is it called Raiden Fighters Trilogy or something like that?
I'm not terribly familiar with
Yeah,
the
there's
series.
a Raiden collection on Xbox 360, and it has the best music. I liked it so much I bought the Japanese soundtrack CD. I had to hunt it down. It's like $50 because their CDs are expensive.
Interesting. I know everyone's favorite Metal Gear Solid character is named Raiden.
That is true. And of course, there was the Mortal Kombat character whose name they mispronounced as Raiden.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Yes, and one of the home releases.
I knew his
Seems like it was
Raiden.
the Super Nintendo game where they changed the spelling to match the pronunciation.
You know, I always used to say Raiden, probably because of that. Like, I mean, it took me forever to say Raiden correctly when I played Metal Gear Solid 2 or Metal Gear Rising. But I got it right now.
There you go. Little Fryer says he'd like the PlayStation 4 to go on sale. You know, I guess when you're in the sales lead, you don't have to do as many promotions, do you? Not that Sony is any good at promoting their stuff lately. They're just kind of coasting on all their goodwill. I mean, they did do a lot of promotions for PlayStation TV,
They've
but only
disappointed
after it was
me.
too late.
Oh yeah, PlayStation TV was dead on arrival again. I mean, how about some like decent Netflix and app support so like people can use it as like a maybe like a little mini Roku box for some of their favorite TV entertainment and stuff when they're not playing games on it. But I'm pretty sure the thing never even had Netflix
Never
on it.
had Netflix, you're right. I mean, that's just ridiculous. That shows a complete lack of commitment. Look at these
Right.
wonderful loading times for what is a very simple game. Actually, I don't remember it being that
Ooh,
bad.
that's
Whew, there it goes. Alright. Gonna go look up the controls real quick. So, you have to be really careful here. Normally I would push B to back out of a menu, but if you hit B, you're actually going to toggle what the B button does, just by default, without having to pick anything. So you have to get out with that back button. What are you doing, Tyler?
my PlayStation 4 controller's talking to me. I can
Just smack
disable
that
that
thing.
here in a minute.
So we've got shot, bomb, cheer, and cheer attack. We'll go over what cheer does in a minute. Default, yes. Oops. Yeah, that's fine. Shot, bomb, cheer attack, cheer. Got it. Sorry, the guy who modded this stick messed up what the back and start buttons are. And
Oh yeah, you were
just
telling
an
me about that.
example of what a not good job he did. But at least the stick works. Here we go. Oh, I was also going to set the difficulty. Where do I set the difficulty? I set it when we start the game, I guess. So story mode is the main thing, but you also have boss mission, which is a series of boss challenges that will extend the life of the game. Oh, you must play it, Shoj Sauce. I'd be happy to play it with you sometime. Haven't had a lot of time to play it since I bought it. Alright. Can do a new game or stage select. We're going to do a new game on normal difficulty. I'm going to die a lot, to be honest, but I'm wanting some normal difficulty achievements.
Well, I mean, it is a scrolling shoot 'em up,
Yeah,
right?
so unless you're great at them, then you
Yeah.
will die.
Yeah, everyone dies a lot of those type of games.
I like to think so. Three.
I do.
By the way, you have 3 ships to choose from. Azuma, Spirit of Dragon, and the Moulin Rouge. From France. Spirit of Dragon is American, even though, of course, we would never call a ship Spirit of Dragon. But that's okay, that's the one we're going to use. They have different missile patterns and different attack and armor ratings, so this one has higher armor. Maybe that will help me out. And the highest attack level, just not a very fast ship. then I can choose. Looks like I'm making some kind of selections about what weapons I go into the game with. Yeah, because you have 2 different choices for the 3 different weapons, and then during the game you'll switch between the 3 different weapons by collecting power-ups. I guess I'm going to pick the alternate versions of all the weapons just to see what they're like. Stage start, here we go. Open it and swap the right. That's true, Brian. You know, I do have the technical skills to do that. I just really haven't bothered. Is this okay? Yes, it's okay. Raiden V, here we go. By the way, this has 2-player local co-op. It does not have online co-op. Which, if they sell it at retail in America, is going to make it a little bit of a harder sell, isn't it? Unless they charge appropriately. We'll see. Because in Japan it's a full-price game, as are most shoot-'em-ups that get released.
Yeah, I mean, is there a shoot-'em-up that's been full price here recently? It's just not a genre that garners those big bucks from Western players.
There have been some that were released at retail, but when they release them at retail, they charge $30 for them.
Okay.
Like Rising Star Games, I think is what they're called. I believe they put out
yeah, I've worked
Akai
on them
Katana.
before.
They did that on 360. That was, I think, one of their very first releases.
They actually released a game and it came out first on PSN before it came out retail, called Chromia Omega, I believe is what it's called. And it's like a 3D shooter. It's pretty cool.
So you got a little bit of an intricate story here, but it's all written out in text, so obviously if you're importing it, you won't be able to appreciate that.
Brian says he picked up The Order 1886 for $9. I'd say that's a good purchase.
It's a fine price for a movie.
It's a very playable 5-hour game. It's fun. I wish there was, I mean, there's a shocking lack of content.
Complete disregard
for something that costs $60,
value.
But the content that's there is fun. There's just not a whole lot of it.
Mostly just a story, from everything I've seen of it. I'm not the one who's played it.
Well, there's some good cover-based shooting.
I go with the purple weapon here. Oh, this is really weird. Gotta get.
It's like Gears of War. If Gears was half as long as it was and didn't have any multiplayer.
And unskippable cinematics.
Does Gears have skippable ones?
What kind of replay value would a game have if you couldn't skip the cinematics? It'd have none.
I hate skippable cutscenes.
The thing is, I don't get too tied into video game stories, so I'll skip cutscenes the first time sometimes when I'm, not interested at all.
You get nothing out of the Order. You get like a 2-hour experience if you could.
It's like 5 hours of good third-person shooting
actual gunplay? No.
With some fun weapons.
The whole thing is like 5 hours, right? So I mean, if you take into account that
the whole thing's like 6
more
hours.
story than levels. Oh wow,
no, there's not as much story as you think. It's not like Heavy Rain or Metal Gear Solid 4.
Huh. Well, if you say so. Every time I watched it, it was mostly cinematics. So. I actually watched it many times, but not all the way through, I don't think.
It was just confirmation bias because you didn't want to like it.
I want to like everything. I like the premise and everything. So up at the top left, there's this message box, and I can actually see what other players who are currently playing are accomplishing. So then I push the cheer button to cheer them on, and then on their screen I think it tells them that somebody cheered them on. This is kind of their weird, kind of a weird Japanese attempt to have some kind of modern connectivity in a game like this. Yeah, I could see Nintendo doing the same kind of thing. It
sounds Nintendo.
It's a thing that doesn't add any value at all, but it.
And then Nintendo will advertise that it has like online functionality.
Yeah, they try to make a big deal about it, and it's like, oh, that's something nobody would even care about. You can see this weapon automatically homes in on enemies as long as they're within the range of it. It's pretty neat. You got 3D levels and characters. I believe even the characters are. And I believe by cheering people on, or at least if they've cheered you on, something like that, you can actually summon them for an attack briefly. And I'll do that when we get to a boss. This game feels really good when played with the stick. Last time I played it, I just played it with the controller. But obviously, Raiden started out as an arcade game, and shoot 'em ups are well played with sticks.
Never played one with
Oh,
stick.
Brian. Take some Dramamine. I think it's because there's a bunch of static stuff on the screen that the motion, for some reason, is giving him the heebie-jeebies.
Could be. A couple people were saying it. I didn't notice anything.
People said that when we streamed that other game too, Hyper or something. Yeah.
Hyper
Void. There's a lot of stuff going on that screen.
Find a big ship here. So remember, this homing weapon is a little weird, but I could have gone with the traditional homing weapon from Raiden 2 if I had wanted. Hoping to get an achievement for beating the boss on normal. I think that was an achievement. I just have to beat the whole game on normal and forget. But you know, if you didn't care about achievements at all, then I think you would get less out of a shoot 'em up like this, because these games are short, and half the point of the game is just to try to see what you can do achievement-wise.
Yeah, achievements are give you like objectives in games like these.
So, imagine if Adam was here and answering Skype and stuff.
Oh, did he not answer?
That's right.
Huh. He's been around a lot more lately, so that's surprising.
Yeah, they're telling he signed in and everything.
Dang that.
That's why.
Shitsu on you asked how you got the game.
Yeah. Well, I got a review code from the Japanese developer. You know, I have a Japanese friend, Lifeflower, and he very kindly does free translation work for me. So I wrote the email out to them. Achievement! And he translated it and facilitated the process of getting a review code. However, you can just buy this game. It's a retail game in Japan. So all you have to do is import it, install it, and you can play it right then and there. No complicated region switching or anything. So, but again, we mentioned kind of at the beginning of the stream before we were really starting that it might get a domestic release. So you just need to take that into account if you decide to buy it. Some people have obviously imported it even knowing that because they're just really excited to play a new Raiden. To be honest, this is one of my favorite shoot 'em up series. I think it's a lot better than Cave games. You know, Cave made Death Smiles.
Is it better than Cave? I don't Cave. You don't like Cave?
Yeah, you know, I will play their games and enjoy them to an extent. However, they're just too bullet helly, you know?
Yeah, they are.
This is
that one bit. But with this, you know, it's got a simple, understandable systems, nothing overly complicated. Just cool environments and some good shooting. Some good, simple shooting, I would say. Sorry, I didn't get a lot of sleep, so I'm not very eloquent tonight.
Eloquent. That's a good word. Eloquent is an eloquent
So
word.
it is. Ooh. Achievement. Shitsu. Oh, dang it. I was looking at what he was saying.
Yeah, it's really hard to look away from the screen.
Not the right kind of game for that. That's why I need your help, bro. But yeah, he asks if you can just get it. I mean, I got a Japanese code for this, and the code will only work when your console and everything is set to Japanese. Well, there's a fairy. You get points for that. They misspelled fairy. It says fairly. That's something I need to tell a developer about. If they bring it out over here, it would be terrible if they left it spelled fairly. It would be fairly terrible. And I forgot to do the cheer attack when I was the boss, but we'll do it on the next boss. Don't let me forget, guys. But anyway, yeah, it is available, I believe, to buy as a downloadable game if your account is sent to Japan, but it's a complicated process. You have to have Japanese Xbox credit to be able to do it. You can't use an American card. and you can't use PayPal. You used to be able to use PayPal, and then Microsoft disabled that functionality. For international purchases, that is. Actually, hitting the little cheer button when I see that stuff in my peripheral vision, it's not that bad. Oh, Gary jumped out at me. I need to start using a bomb. There's a bomb. Yay, finally used a bomb. First time I played, I had accidentally disabled the bomb button, so I couldn't use bombs on anything. I was just like, what's going on? Why can't I use bombs?
Yeah.
Trying every little button.
At least you figured it out.
Because like I said, the control setup screen is a little bit different from most games. I haven't played this in co-op, but I imagine the second player probably can't get achievements, because that's usually how these shoot-em-ups are. Screw you, second player. Screw you, player 2. That's how they would say it. This new homing weapon is cool though, I like it. Yo, Simu, glad to see you, man. Yeah, if you're watching live, again, the plan is to try to stream a second game after this. I do have to go to work tonight, so we'll see whether or not we actually end up with time for it. This is kind of a long game for a shoot 'em up. They put a little more content into it than I was expecting.
Good.
And a nice purple cavern here where my shots can blend in with the background. What's the last shoot 'em up you played, Tyler?
The last shoot 'em up I played, Chromai Omega would be the last one that was 3D. I'm trying to think the last 2D one I played. It's been a little while.
Does Galaxy count?
I mean, it could, and I've definitely played that a lot. It's not real. It's more exploration, so it's not scrolling at all. Like you control where you go. So it's a little bit different in that regard.
Here's a cheer attack. Blue ship comes out and he increases my firepower dramatically for a little while. Looks like I used it a little too early. The boss had a bit of invincibility for a while. Ah! Another bomb. Boss, no miss, destroy. Cool. So it recognizes when you kill the boss without dying. And I demand more achievements. Simu wants to play The Division with people.
It's a fun game.
There's my
It's pretty
achievement.
good, I should say.
Yeah. Like we were talking about I haven't played it enough, but as I've played The Division, I have found that the shooting itself is very unsatisfying because of the way the enemies don't react enough to your shots, in my opinion.
And I do agree with that. They don't really react at all to your shots.
Yeah, so I'm surprised, like Lil Fryer and other shooter heads, some people just value shooters above all else, and I don't know, to me that's a little weird, but I'm surprised people like that love The Division so much because it's like, well, the shooting isn't as good as other shooters, so doesn't that make it a little bit less of a shooter? But it's the rest of the game, obviously, that makes up for it.
Well, I think the shooting's still good. I mean, the reactions, I guess, could be better. But I don't know. The game actually gets a lot simpler as you continue through and you start leveling up a little bit quicker than the enemies, it seems like.
That's good.
So, I mean, the AI is not great, but it's not terrible, but it's definitely not great at times.
If some of your shots would stagger them.
AI guy.
Yeah, when a baseball guy just can run straight up to you while you're baseball bat guy can just run straight up to you while you're shooting him, it's silly, especially with the realistic presentation that it's supposed to be happening in the real world.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, but it's not enough of a drawback for me to have too much of an issue with it. And again, the baseball guys become almost irrelevant.
Nice. Good, because on hard, they were giving my team such a hard time.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't play a single mission on hard, but that was
Yeah, you should try that just to see
partially
what it's
based
like.
on what you
You're already
said.
so high level, it probably doesn't matter if you trade it in.
I sold it, but I still have it today, so I'll sell it tomorrow. I'll ship it out tomorrow.
Tyler, might as well just rent.
Yeah, I beat it. Cheaper than renting.
Really?
Well, it's $48 at Best Buy, and then I got a $15 gift card with it, and then I sold it for 40 bucks.
Gift card's nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of Best Buy, you know what I bought from them? I bought Flash Season 1 and Arrow Season 2 on Blu-ray because they have a promotion where you get movie money for Batman vs. Superman with them. So they're on sale for $15 each, and then you get a free movie ticket with each one. Since a movie ticket is going to be $7 or $8, it's like paying $7 or $8 for the Blu-ray set. That's nice. Yeah.
Nice.
Those shows are available on Netflix, however, things don't stay on Netflix forever. So if I really like a show, I will just buy it anyway.
No, I mean, not only do I not play that many new games, but GameFly doesn't always hook you up with the newest games.
Does it make you wait?
Yeah,
Stop getting hit.
they definitely don't have enough for everyone.
Yeah, I imagine if it's a really in-demand title, then it'd be harder.
No, I'm making money on the Division, so don't worry about me, guys.
Everyone's like, you're so dirty, Tyler.
GameFly sales used to be really good. They've kind of like, seems like they've really bogged down as of recently
Well,
on
you know,
sales.
Brian was telling me that Arslan, which just came out and is a great game,
Yeah, Arslan was super cheap, like 20
$17
bucks, or
I
something.
think is what he said.
Yeah. Maybe he had a 10%
Oh,
discount.
could be.
Going. No, I thought it was 20.
But yeah, even 20 is a great price
Yeah,
for how
that
big
was
a
good
game that
price. I
is.
saw that.
A lot of
saw that.
content.
I am in the dark zone, all alone.
I mean, heck, Tyler, if you want to play an interactive movie, that's like an interactive TV series.
What
Yeah.
is Arslan?
'Cause it, you know, has all of the story content of the show practically.
Yeah,
'Cause I know you're
I
such a
know.
big fan of
Not
The
a-
Order, and that's, you know.
big South in guy. And also not a big A9
Oh,
type
no,
of
I'm
guy.
gonna shake you. Ah. Hey, Deborah.
There's Leonard.
Leonard,
89.
where you been, man? We were worried about you. We didn't see you on Saturday and for a few other days, and we are just like, what's wrong with Lenny?
Yeah, I mean, I was riding to the Trinidad and Tobago consulate here in the U.S. to have someone go down there and check on you.
Thankfully, that will no longer be necessary. You know, I honestly thought it was probably just an STD of some sort.
Or
Yeah, he had a flare-up, couldn't come around for a while, too busy resting his, you know, junk. As you do.
Nope.
Ooh, now I've got
Yeah,
5.
Icky says
Yeah, I
no-
just got the plasma weapon to
Icky
maximum
says-
level.
Oh, nice. Icky says that there's no
Wow.
game fly in where that just regular flies.
I'm sure they take lots of advantage of those.
Yeah. Yeah, Arslan, that was a really big quick drop. That was a good deal for sure, Brian. You're right about that one. It's not a game for me, but if like you were interested in that game, but just didn't quite want to pay full price, that was a huge deal.
Hi, Lightspeed Halo. Yeah, I mean, the problem with Arslan is that it's not that nobody will buy any anime games in America. The real problem is just that nobody knows Arslan very well. It's not especially well known.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was an anime game when it came out. I just thought it was just like a Dynasty Warriors spin-off.
And the show is not available on Blu-ray. It's only available through streaming services, as far as I know. I could be wrong, but so
Why can't I find any real peaches in
this
the
boss
dark
is
zone?
tough. This game got a lot harder. Use my my last bomb. Die, you fool. Yeah, killed him. Somebody named Max is talking. Over at the right, there's characters, and they'll say things depending on what level you're on. Also, there's a button, I think it's one of the bumpers or something, I can use to toggle what content is displayed on the left. I can have it display stats instead of what it's showing now. Achievement! I don't think I got the no miss achievement for that. Probably not. Which button was it? Yeah, there we go. I was able to change it to show just the stats for my current game. Then you don't get the cheer information.
See ya, Icky. We won't be around in 3 hours. Someone else might be streaming, but Paul won't be.
Miss you, Icky. Might play a little Neverwinter at work though, and sure, perhaps we'll get to play together. He's a huge help in our Neverwinter guild. Number 2.
Nice. Yeah, he plays that a lot, huh? He's like max level or something.
And so am I. But yeah, it took me longer to get there than it took him. A lot longer. But yeah, we're highly focused on developing the Windows Central Guild. No. If I wanted to, I could change to a different weapon. There's all that crystal floating around cycles between 3 different colors, red, blue, and purple. They're all different weapons. But you have to level each one up independently, so if I picked it up now a different color, I would be at a disadvantage for a while. It's better just to pick one and stick with it for the rest of the game. But the first time I played through, I did fully level all 3 of them, just by going through them one at a time.
Nice. Are there difficulty modes, and are there continues?
Yes, unlimited continues, of course. Nice. And difficulty-wise, there's, I think, 5 difficulties. We're playing on normal right now, remember, because I wanted to get the normal achievement. It's the very first time I played on very easy.
Lofar says he hit 67 in Neverwinter.
Glad to hear it, Lofar. He played a little bit with us yesterday, I think it was. And that was good.
Nice.
I know he's very wrapped up in the division right now.
Cool.
Yeah, obviously, when a big game comes out like that, then you're free to play long-term stalwart games like Neverwinter. The population takes a hit, or even Elder Scrolls, Elder Scrolls Online, which is not free to play. But yeah, people will play those games and they'll get busy and they'll come back to them eventually. So.
Right.
But yeah, I just wish I had more time to play the Division actually, I need to play it about 5 or 10 more hours, and then I could kind of write some of those, develop the thoughts I've been having, because I've had some critical thoughts. I'm not going to be the one reviewing it, but it would be nice to write some kind of editorial comparing it to other games.
Sure. I wrote my thoughts out and posted them today.
I'll have to check that out. Heather never shares links. He just makes you go look for it.
Yeah, I'm not good at self-promotion.
Well, speaking of today I had a story go up about the Razer Core. Yesterday, we had 2 different stories. Yesterday it was the announcement of the new Razer Blade gaming laptop. They've already had several models of Razer Blade. The newest one, it's 14 inches, really nice. And that's going to be $2,000 for the 256 gigabyte storage model, or $2,200 for the 512, which would be the one to get. But that will work with the Razer Core. The Razer Core is an external graphics enclosure, so you connect it to compatible notebooks, and it will allow you to install an actual desktop graphics card. That way you can have any amount of graphical power, Yeah, because notebooks, usually the graphics card can't be upgraded at all. My notebook, I actually can upgrade it if I want, but it's so expensive. Why bother, It would be $700 to give it the best graphics card it can use. Yeah, that's a lot. So with the Razer Core, which is a sizable investment all on its own, at least it gives you a bunch of extra functionality, and you can then upgrade the graphics cards over time, so it can keep your laptop viable pretty much until a new graphics card standard comes along. So basically forever.
Very cool.
Yeah, and we had they shared a bunch of details with us last week, and we were able to share the article with the public today, and the announcement went live. And Jonathan also met with them, got a look at it, and he shot a little video.
Nice. I heard that Quantum Break review codes are being sent out.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's a good point. Yeah, if anybody's looking forward to Quantum Break, I did get a copy of that, and I've installed it. Haven't got to try it yet. Might try it tonight. It's just that I'm always so behind, you know? Gotta get caught up one day to where I feel like, okay, new thing comes in, I'll just do that and not worry about the other stuff I'm supposed to do. And I haven't been at that place in a long time, unfortunately. By the way, good to see you, DNev. DNev was just telling me that he is crummy at paying attention to his Skype messages. Poor DNev.
Sounds like a real Adam.
Yeah, maybe even a little worse, actually. But yeah, it's good to be reachable. Good to be easy to talk to.
Yeah. The reason why I wasn't online is because I wasn't home.
Yeah, I figured you probably weren't. I know you get home around
yeah
8 my time.
On Wednesdays I do, yeah.
Because you're out getting a special massage, is that right?
Yes, that's right. There was actually an article on one of our local TV news channels today about a husband and wife shop that got shut down for giving out special massages, and charges are being filed now.
You know, we shouldn't talk about it very much, but I really, really don't think that should be illegal. And historically, you know, just throughout the history of human time, that particular kind of service has always been around. And you know, it's a Puritan, how do you say it? Puritanical government thing, you know, that, oh, people shouldn't be able to do that. You can only do it in the bedroom with who you're married to, you know. It's just a very recent invention.
The reason these guys are pretty scummy because they were also filming things unbeknownst to the person that was there.
That should be illegal.
That's super illegal, yeah.
DNev555, Adam is 0 on Twitch, one of our regular co-hosts.
Who was invited to co-host, from my understanding, but
did not care to answer. That's why I don't have Skype installed on my phone, though, is I don't want people to think I'm online when I'm actually not available to answer messages.
That's exactly why I don't have it on mine, too. Because, I mean, you know, no offense to Paul or any of my other Skype contacts, but there's no, like, life or death contacts on there to the point that I need to be accessible 24/7, you know?
Yeah, and if you do want to be accessible to somebody like that, then you just let them regularly text you, right?
Right, exactly. Which reminds me, stop texting me so much, Paul.
Oh, sure. Like once every 3 months.
Yeah.
So have you guys in the audience played the Raiden series before? You said you own 4, but you haven't actually played that one. Did you play any of them?
No. I'd never heard of it before, Raiden 4.
That's too bad. It was a real-life arcade game series. I played Raiden 2 in the arcade. I don't know if I played Part 1 actually in an arcade or not. The Part 1 was ported to Super Nintendo, TurboGrafx, Sega Genesis, so practically everything. I forget if there's an NES version. There might have been in Japan at least. And I really liked those old ports where the hardware couldn't handle it, so they had to adapt it in different ways. And I just really like seeing all the different versions and how they differ in looks and features and stuff. So that's something you don't get much anymore. If a game is ported, should just it'll run as well as that platform can handle, but they all can basically handle the same 3D stuff. It'll just be resolution differences and things like that.
Sure.
Heck, even the Wii U, which is essentially a hopped up Game Boy Color, can probably run this game just fine.
Good old Wii U.
Game Boy Color with a tablet attached.
Yeah. Or with a Game Boy Color with a console
That
attached.
too. It does have a tablet thing.
That's so bad for the Wii U fans out
Yeah,
there.
I keep
Because we're never nice to Wii U.
and think of Mario Maker, which is a really nice idea for a game. I keep reading articles about how Nintendo is goofing it in various ways. They randomly will delete people's levels if they haven't gotten enough downloads. So screw you if your level didn't get enough downloads. It just doesn't get to be shared with people anymore.
That's
Yeah,
really
so
strange.
dumb a way to handle sharing.
Is that it's like server probably issues? They're like, oh, it take up too much room on our servers.
Yeah, whatever minimal amount of data they even actually take up, since they don't, it doesn't have to store graphics. It's just level information.
Hey, their 5 terabyte server over there is getting full.
Probably so. I mean, and you cannot re-upload the level. You would have to completely make it from scratch. If you, say, edit the level, try to improve it, you can't re-upload it. Yep.
Really?
So, I mean, it's just the worst implementation possible of online content sharing. Because that's the Nintendo way. Take an idea and do it the worst way possible, and there you go.
Uh-oh.
Ryan's wife gave him the game
Buying talk
Uh-oh.
earlier today about his game buying habits. That's
Did
never
you really
a good
buy
sign.
that many games, Brian?
I didn't think he did, but he must buy more than we think.
Could be.
I recommend a quick divorce.
It's the only way.
Right.
No, it is something you have to worry about. Like, I'm pretty reasonable at keeping my spending habits in check. I do, I spend maybe 100, 200 at most on just personal frivolities in the month. And I mean, everybody has to have some kind of similar spending limit. If you live with your parents, or if you just make a whole heck of a lot of money, then maybe your personal budget is higher, but...
Oh yeah, another big thing is wife and kids. What do you have those? And if you have a spouse, if she works herself. Basically comes down to if you're supporting other people in your own household.
I mean, I think no matter what, you should get at least $100 a month to yourself.
Oh no, I know. Yeah, you have to do a little bit. Like, you go crazy without a little bit of treating
Yeah,
yourself.
I mean, whether you're married or not, there has to be some kind of personal budget.
Oh yeah.
You bought a cake when you could have bought me dinner, DNev says.
Yep, that's the exact lecture that Brian got. You could have gone to Olive Garden and got soup and salad, but instead you bought the order 1886, which isn't going to last quite as long as our dinner would have.
And here we are at home eating ramen. You didn't even bother to add water to it.
Yeah, exactly. Ramen in the order.
That's how I want to spend my evening. Dude,
What a
Netflix, speaking of which, I'm really looking forward to some upcoming Netflix releases. We have Daredevil Season 2, which by most early reviews is better than the first season. It definitely has more interesting Marvel characters like the Punisher and Elektra. And more ninjas. That's always good. Anything can be improved with ninjas. Even things that already have ninjas.
more ninjas.
But we've got that, and also the new Pee Wee Herman movie.
Yeah, not quite as excited about that one. I just never got into
Did you
Pee Wee
watch
Herman.
Pee Wee's Big Adventure?
Yeah. I was older.
I mean, Pee Wee's Big Adventure is not especially for kids. It's for, it's an all ages kind of thing. But many people consider it Tim Burton's best film.
I like Beetlejuice.
Yeah, Beetlejuice is wonderful. And I do like Beetlejuice better than Pee Wee's Big Adventure, but I still like Pee Wee's Big Adventure a lot. And Tim Burton is a director who has only gotten worse with age.
Oh yeah. Disaster.
Here and there, he has a movie that,
I can enjoy. I liked the one with, I should say the one with Johnny Depp. They're all with Johnny Depp.
Yep, and Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah, Sweeney Todd. I like that one. That was kind of cool. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just like the music. And then I liked one other one I can't remember now. That wasn't Batman.
Edward Scissorhands?
It's okay. It's not my favorite.
Come on. Yeah, you know, Sweeney Todd, I think it was, I forget, me and an ex-girlfriend, we watched it with Ethan when he was about 14-ish. He was very put off by the violence and killing. It was funny. Not usually like that. But I mean, it is a lot of killing innocent people.
Yeah.
But it's such a non-realistic world that it doesn't feel real.
True. I can see that. Yeah, I don't know. I was definitely older, so I didn't have issues with it. It's an interesting way of killing people. Doesn't he like bake them into a pie or something too? I can't remember.
Yeah, they sell the. He slashes their throats, and that's the part that is a little hard to take. And then bakes them into meat pies. He even kills his own wife because he's become such a jerk by that point.
That sounds like Brian's going back to Europe. Yeah. That's going to be a bit of a pricey trip. You might not be able to buy any more of the orders for a while.
Yeah.
You can go visit where the order took place in Victorian. Hey, I recognize that user. Xero on Twitch? Is that how it's
some weirdo?
Some weirdo with poor spelling.
Yeah, definitely. Man, yeah, we're not going to be able to do 2 games if I actually play this through to completion. Which I kind of feel like doing.
Yeah, you should always do things through to completion.
Nobody wants to go just halfway. What level am I on? Shoge sauce? No, the achievements are just Japanese. The only thing that would change that is if the developer actually updates the achievements into English, in which case they'll be English for everyone. And that has happened with a few games that came out in Japan and then made it to America first. Whoops. I forget which games those might be, but I know it's happened. I've read it. But you can just go to True Achievements to see the achievement list, and then use Google Translate to tell you what they are, and they are pretty understandable after Google Translate. There might be like 1 or 2 where you wonder what that means, but for the most part you'll get it, because mostly it's like, beat this level a certain way or whatever.
Cool. I did that with a PlayStation Vita game, and it worked for the most part. There's a couple. That swinging game, the rubber game. Omihara Kawase, something like that.
Yeah, something Umihara Kawase? Yeah, which is also on Steam.
It was. I actually think they were pulled down. I don't know if they got pulled off.
I believe somebody rescued them
I think
on Steam. I don't know about PSN. Yeah.
Oh, really?
It might have even been Rising Star Games, actually.
They're cool. I like them too. They've provided us with a few games, and they're very friendly, and they kind of have like those niche titles that I really get into. Like I think they published La Mulana EX, which is a really cool game on the Vita. It was kind of just stranded on Nintendo systems here in America for a long time. So
it's too bad they couldn't have done a PS4 port, because the Vita is not like you can't make fun of the Wii U and then praise the Vita.
Yeah, I mean, PS4 port would have made a lot more sense. I don't think it's especially good for a portable experience. You know, it's a game where you want to play it in long sittings and have the levels
that you're
exactly.
Memorized. I probably would have played it more if it was on PS4. Are we talking about Umihara or
La Mulana? Yeah, no, okay. Umihara, isn't it? God, I wish we had the name right. But anyway, that game has the levels are short. It's it has difficulty issues and what have you, but they're short at least.
Oh man, the game's hard to sell. But yeah. Tembo is on sale. I have not picked it up though. I have not heard the best things about Tembo, the badass elephant.
It's got such a great name, though.
It does have a
Sauce
good name.
likes it, so maybe you should listen to him.
He does like it. Sorry, 1 second.
I don't even know what that means, DNev. Some kind of obscure reference there.
I don't think I shared it with you. Maybe I did. There was a good video about Sonic. The reason I bring up Sonic is because Tembo is kind of a
I
lot
remember
like
you were
Sonic.
talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah. A good 40-minute video about Sonic.
I mean,
that
if
enjoyed.
he's taking down the series as a whole, that's one thing. But if he's saying that the Genesis games weren't good, you know, I cannot respect that opinion.
He's not taking down the series per se. He's like playing the first level of each game. So like some are better than others, of course. He had some qualms with some of the Genesis stuff, but it's not like saying the Genesis games were totally bad. But I mean, it's a lot of because I never really got into Sonic. Like, it's a game that wants you to run fast, and then it puts a spike enemy in your way that like just completely screws. Like, it's a game that just constantly trolls you.
But I don't think the Genesis games do that very much. You know, like Genesis games, the starts and stops are pretty natural. It's not like Sonic 4 Episode 1, for instance, where that game really didn't have good level design.
Yeah, he was not nice at all to that one.
Yeah. I mean, I like that one well enough.
It was
but
ugly too. You liked it. It was like the ugliest game.
yeah, not
like,
beautiful.
There's so many graphical styles they could have gone with, and they would have
Agreed.
that one.
India used to really like playing it on my phone. It was cute. I had 99 lives on my save game. She was little. She's like, what, 4-ish when she was doing this? And she got it down to the default number of lives because she would play and die. Yeah, but it was so cute. And then I remember I showed her Sonic Generations, and she still must have been 3 or 4 at that time. And she was like, just playing it, and she was like, wee! She was so excited by the fast-paced stuff.
I've heard really good things about Sonic.
It's a solid game. The boss fights are still bad, which is a problem of the 3D Sonics, especially the newer ones. But just the regular levels themselves are really neat. There's a lot of content and fan service.
Cool.
Yeah, so
I have that one to show, but
yeah, I mean, it's one I recommend playing, but if you don't have any particular nostalgia for Sonic, then it would be a whole different experience for you.
yeah, I'm not the biggest Sonic fan.
Ow. Yeah, I'm definitely getting worse at this as the night goes on. I mean, the game is getting harder, and then also I'm just tired, so I'm running low on energy. That's okay. All the TDs I need.
Senran, Kangura, Estival, Maximo, we'll have to wait. I was listening to the blogcast, which I don't listen to. I listen to the beginning because they announce which games are coming out for the week, but I don't particularly care for most of those guys. But they were wondering about that word Estival, like they thought that they had typoed it because like it's festival without an F, you know.
Just Japanese wackiness, as far as I know.
Yep.
Not an actual word. Title that means practically nothing in most cases.
Yeah. Not the first time a Japanese game has been named like that.
Yay, achievement.
There's another Japanese game that came out, Aegis of something, I can't remember what it was called. But it's like a weird strategy game I heard where you like tilt the city, like you're defending a city but like you actually tilt the city around to attack and stuff. Sounds interesting at least.
I'd like to see that.
Ryan's not a fan of the Senran games apparently.
I mean, you, me, and Adam, we all played one of them on the Vita, right?
Mm-hmm.
And or did we? We really did, didn't we?
I'm trying to think now. I know, you did. I'm not sure.
I could swear the first time we did it, the first and I believe the only time we did one as a group, it was that game. Uh-oh, I just picked up a red weapon. Now I gotta get the purple again. This one's kind of neat. Shots curve towards whichever direction you're going. I'm not in a good situation with an underpowered weapon. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we did, and the only thing I don't... Senran Kagura, it's a fan service game. They also use a word called ecchi for it, where it's supposed to be where it's supposed to be titillating without actually being overtly pornographic.
I've heard that.
Yeah, it's a stylized way of saying the letter H. That's where that came from. Because H is short for hentai. Yeah. And hentai would be actually pornographic.
Right. Oh, I get it. That's interesting. Sirloin Steaks asks if you stream every Wednesday.
We stream a lot of Wednesdays. Not every single Wednesday, Sirloin Steaks, but it is a good day for us because we don't have to compete with anybody else who has an overly ambitious streaming schedule. Not to name any names.
2 days a week isn't that ambitious.
It's practically every day. But yeah, I like to, and I'm hoping, I'm still hoping for a job promotion which would allow me to have a more regular schedule, in which case I would just make some dedicated days and we would always stream on those days.
Yeah. Cool. We used to have it like that, and then...
Yeah, because it was a lot of... it took so much energy.
It was a ton of work, yeah.
And just with my job being a graveyard job, having to wake up and do streams it's not good. It's rough.
Yeah.
And that's how tonight was, I had to wake up and do it, but otherwise I wouldn't get a chance to do it without competing with anybody, so here we are. But also I wanted to stream Senran Kagura because it's so new. It just came out this week, so it wouldn't have been the best time to stream it. But,
yeah, it's too bad you couldn't have. I'm sure you would have got a few itchy views as well.
Yeah, but anyway, what I was going to say that I don't like about at least the Vita game that we played is the actual beat-em-up combat is not it's not intuitive to me. It's not that it's bad, but it's not simple and intuitive like I would much prefer.
Sure.
So, I bet the PS4 game will be the same way, but it will be nice to see it with better graphics and higher production values.
Yeah, better graphics.
But it's on Vita too. It's launched on PS4 and
Vita.
Vita.
It is. Yep.
We only got a PS4 code, but that's actually my preference nowadays.
Cool. Well, it's so hard to stream Vita.
Yeah, exactly. You have to worry about PSTV. And if I want to play it portably, I also have to download it again on the real Vita. It's just a hassle. Yep, and I do review a few games now and then, although it's been a little while. Man, I can't remember when the last review I wrote was. Probably January.
Of a video game?
Yeah. I did review the Nyko databank recently. Accessories are fun to review because you can just test them out for maybe an hour or two and then write from there.
Yeah.
Although the video editing portion of the reviews still takes a lot of time, but not a horrible amount. That Nyko databank video has actually been done for 2 or 3 weeks, but it took me so long to get around to writing the review because I had all these trips. And I have the video review done for the Colorware Xbox One Elite controller, but haven't gotten a chance to sit down and write that review yet. Because the writing part is still the most time-consuming part.
Yeah, it takes a long time to put your thoughts into good words.
Then again, with the Colorware one, probably that will not be a 1,200 word review, so I bet I can get the whole thing in 2 hours. Thanks, Moobot.
Moobot's all over it.
Oh, by the way, I might as well tell everybody that we're probably going to have a new guy streaming on our channel sometimes. His name is Russell Hawley from Android Central. Russell is a virtual reality enthusiast and just a gamer, but I understand that he does a lot of HTC VVIG coverage. Is it actually supposed to be pronounced Vive? Because I just can't say Viva that way.
I would guess it's Vive.
But anyway, yeah, supposedly he's written a lot of stories on that. You know, I don't go to Android Central a
Interesting.
lot, but
You know, I don't know anything about the Vive. I know a bit about Oculus and a bit more about PlayStation VR, but I don't know anything about
it's supposed
Vive.
to be a lot nicer than the Oculus. It does cost $200 more though.
Yeah, it's the highest end one, right?
And so, if I ever was to get one for PC, which I would like to, I'd have to. I guess the Oculus would be the easiest thing at least, but I don't know which one would I get. I might want the nicest one. But you and I were talking about how there's going to be a PlayStation 4 one. I know your cheap-ass gamerness will keep you from getting it for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, also I am not. I don't even really know what VR is and what it does. I haven't researched it a lot. It's never tickled my fancy. So $400 for something I'm not sold on is a whole lot of money.
We'll have to see what games they have for it. Have they said anything about that?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of games, but none of them look like more than kind of like tech demo type things. I mean, it really feels like it's gonna be like, I don't know, maybe like the Wii style games. I'm sure they want it to be like Wii because the Wii was terribly successful, but
Well, just as an example, you know, on PC, at least Minecraft is getting VR support.
Yeah, but not on PS4,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
But I mean, that's an example of what you can do. It doesn't, you know, of a game that can accommodate that.
right.
I gotta think No Man's Sky is gonna have a VR version.
Yeah, how could they not?
I mean, Sony seems like they've sunk a ton of money into it. If the game's successful when it comes out in June, I mean, you gotta think that it's just gonna have a huge, you know, it will be a huge push for the VR.
The lack of it not coming with the camera, that's a weird thing. An understandable thing because a lot of people would already have the camera. Actually, like 5
Have
people,
the
but
camera.
still.
A lot of people bought it at launch when it was popular and hard to find.
So that's the thing. And you have one, don't you? Did you get on sale?
I do have, yeah. It's like $30 or something.
Yeah, I
don't
want to
know.
get it. I think 30 or 20 would be the range that I would look to get it. But now I'm afraid that whenever it goes on sale, people are going to buy it in it for the same reason I would, in anticipation of the VR.
Right.
Make it harder. Fighting a space station.
It might.
Brian has the camera just to not use it. Like, I'll buy this thing that I'm philosophically opposed to. I haven't been cheering anyone, so I can't call in the cheer thing. Which is unfortunate. Let's beat this sucker.
To be fair, I haven't used
The camera much at all.
I've
Yeah.
seen you on it occasionally.
Yeah, all I do is get critiques that it's too far away, which is true. But with my
Setup, it's just not feasible to get it any closer that I can figure out without like going through the hassle of like
taking 5 minutes to set up my camera before I stream.
Yeah, you can't just have a shelf in the middle of your room, for instance.
Right.
They should have made it with a good zoom. I think.
Yeah, I don't get like there's no zoom as far as I can tell. Like, why isn't there a zoom?
For the zoom to actually be good, it would have to be optical, and that costs money. So I'm sure that's why.
I don't know much about cameras, but I'm sure that it probably cost them about $10 to manufacture.
Maybe so.
Oh yeah, you got the something achievement for 40
Just for
gamers.
beating that boss on normal. But we are looking at 2 more levels, 2 more complete levels. I think each level has more than one section. By the way, I can't hear the music very well right now, but as I recall, the music is a bit of a letdown for the series, because Raiden 1 and 2 had really good, memorable music. It didn't seem to me like Raiden 5 did the first time I played it.
If you die, do you lose all your cool plasma power-ups?
No, your gun stays at the same strength, which is nice.
Yeah, that is.
You might have to pick up the fairy that comes out when you die to get it to stay at the same strength, I forget.
Oh, I played, probably the last shoot 'em up I played is called, I have to look it up now. Astabreed.
No, I have not.
on PlayStation 4, I think only.
Funny
I don't know.
Japanese name.
It's both. It's swaps between weird name. Swaps between vertical and horizontal scrolling.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it is. It was a cool game. I played through it about 6 or 7 times. Different difficulties, different. It's short. I mean, by the time I was beating it really well, like in 35 minutes maybe. So short game, but
Yeah.
you know, different mechs and stuff.
As we can see, this one's a bit longer than half an hour. It's at least an hour.
Yeah, this is one of the longer ones I've seen.
I guess since it's a retail game, they have to make you feel like you're getting your money for it.
Yeah, it is odd to me, and it's just there's probably games that we have that Japanese players are like, people pay $60 for that. But like a game like this is like, to me, this like has to be digital and downloadable to be like even, you know, for me to consider getting it.
Depends on who. You know, there's certain shoot 'em up series that I really like and that I would pay money for, and such as this, Darius, Gradius from Konami. Not so much R-Type, although I have bought R-Type games, but not all of them. I don't know. Anyway, if it's one of those games and I know it's got a bit of a legacy and it's gonna kind of match my taste well enough, then that's fine. But if it's like a cave game, even though I did buy some back when I I needed articles to write at Co-Optimus, so I bought some of those Japanese shoot 'em ups for like 40 or so. But yeah, I wouldn't do that on my own.
Gotcha. I don't know. I mean, is Radiant Silvergun, is that cave?
No, that was Treasure.
Treasure, that's right. I like those games. So those are very bullet hell-esque. I think I probably kind of like the bullet hell ones more. I kind of like the feeling you're trying to dodge all these bullets that are moving slowly, that are just blanketing the screen. I kind of like that.
I personally want less bullets, but you know, apparently shoot 'em up fans' tastes definitely lean towards more.
Yeah, seems like it. Assault Android Cactus, which I played recently on PlayStation 4, has some bullet hell-esque levels. A lot of it's like a twin-stick shooter, so it's not a ton of bullet hell-ness. But there are some bosses and stuff that are totally bullet hell style.
I would think that game is your favorite game based on how many times you've mentioned it.
Yeah, it's a cool game though. I really did like it. One of the better games I've played in a while.
Zero says he doesn't want the games to be too long. That I don't really understand.
My favorite ever is Trouble Witches Neo.
Really?
No, but I did play it. It was very
Wasn't that on
strange game.
360?
Yeah, that's why I played it.
It seems like maybe I played like one level of it just when I had some time one time or something, but I definitely didn't play it all the way through.
I don't think I made it all the way through. It was kind of a longer one.
I think the
felt like.
achievements were rough on that one too. I can't remember what it was, but it seems like they were.
Yeah, they were.
Gatekeeper destroy. I'm not even seeing anybody else's accomplishments at the top to cheer on, so I think there's just nobody else playing right now. So, you know, the number of people who own this game, it's like all 5 Japanese Xbox One owners and then some importers, and that's it.
Right.
So once it comes out worldwide, then at least the cheer system would work a lot better.
I'm assuming it's on PS4 as well.
Xbox One only.
Odd.
Yeah, and that is a weird decision, but apparently it came about as a result of Moss's good relationship with Microsoft in Japan.
Interesting.
But I would think if they, I don't know, it depends on if they think the English sales are enough, but if they want more sales, then obviously bring it to PS4 would be the way to go.
Yeah.
Going down some kind of cave thing. But yeah, why would you want the game? I don't know. Like, why would you want it to be so short? I don't know. I mean, I like a game where I can play for half an hour and feel like I got enough out of it. This one has a level select, so if you don't have that much time to play, you can just jump to the middle of the game and you can still get that half-hour experience.
Nice.
Oh, and there's alternate versions of levels. The way to get the alternate versions is weird, though. It's based on your enemy kill percentages, as I understand it. And so you have to actually not kill a bunch of the enemies to see the alternate versions of the levels, and why would you ever do that?
Yeah, games like this have like weird things like that in them sometimes.
I really do want to see those alternates, and there may be achievements involved, or not, but I'll have to just play a certain way. Although I think maybe if you jacked up the difficulty, it might actually be hard to kill all the enemies, I don't know. You can always just bomb your way through it, but...
Yeah, I mean, your weapon looks pretty freaking powerful for this right now.
Nice. Little blue animated guy there. I don't know what that's a reference to. Probably just something they've had in other games they made. So are we on level 8 still? I guess we are.
I do not
Well,
know.
it's just YouTube Raiden V complete playthrough.
Yep,
I wonder how many
there you go.
people actually would watch it all the way through.
I don't know. Probably not a lot. I don't watch any YouTube videos all the way through.
Well, when I do,
almost.
you know, a video like this, for instance, on Video Gamer's channel, I'll put it on and listen to it while I am doing something else, like playing a game. Now I'm fighting an enemy that resembles the default Raiden ship, a giant. So I don't know if it's probably some kind of story thing where the person used to be on our side and went bad. I don't know. Killed it. Drop the parry. Get the parry. Get fairly.
Zero says he plays games for score, and so learning and memorizing patterns is more viable when the game isn't too long to get through. In my opinion, the best shooters don't last longer than about 30 minutes.
Yeah, see, that's just the kind of attitude that keeps shooters from ever returning to the mainstream. But it is a fair point that it is harder to memorize everything if the game is longer.
Oh yeah, indeed.
Yeah, I mean, whatever happened to playing the game for fun?
Who are you talking to with
Just
that one?
everyone. But especially
Oh.
Zero.
I think he plays games for fun.
He just said he plays for score. It's the only reason he can ever play any game from now on.
He's been MLGing Code Veronica.
And it's a hard game, so then he gets all sad and apologetic when he doesn't do well. Poor guy.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with his performance.
But I mean, that's just what it's like to play that game. It's a hard game.
Those games are hard. Yeah, they're way hard. Put it on easy mode. Start scoping, Zero. Don't forget about your no scoping rule and just start scoping
Yeah, I wonder if the
everyone.
360 version of it has an easy mode or not.
You'd think they're... I mean, I don't know. Because, like, hard games... Like, people like Zero can still deal with hard games. The general population of video gamers are not interested in games that just kick your ass.
Somehow the Dark Souls games have managed to get a good following, but that's an outlier situation.
Yeah.
But even, you know, speaking of which, Bloodborne is basically a Dark Souls game, just a spin-off. And Simu bought it without knowing anything about it, just because it was popular, I guess. And then, yeah, he just hated it. But it's like, you have to, with a game that's like that, you have to understand what it's trying to do and then meet it halfway. You can't just be like, God, I died. No way I'm playing this game. You know, you have to at least be like, okay, this game wants me to play it like this, so I'll try that for a while. That's how to enjoy it. I mean, that's not critical of Simu. You just didn't know what the point was.
Sure. No, I'm with you. I mean, I think I would like them. I still plan to at some point get into the Souls series, including Bloodborne. I don't like big fantasy RPGs with like lots of classes and lots of stuff like that. That's what turns me off from the strategies. Like, I don't know, I can't get into those type of games. Like, I wish some of the menus were more self-explanatory and easier to learn and stuff like that.
Yeah, you sure do have to look up a lot of stuff if you really want to do well.
Right.
If you're not willing to just sit there and bump your head against the wall for 4 hours or whatever.
Right, exactly.
So that is a downside. That's actually, a lot of cool achievement. A lot of cool games have come out, such as Ark Survival Evolved lately, and there's other games like that. Just Minecraft style games, survival games. That Shelter, that's one. That
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like those games. Oh, and This War of Mine. There's another one. Like they just require so much learning. You can't just sit there and play it and have any hope of doing well. Like that.
Sure,
I mean, some
absolutely.
people get really into that, but I think those are people who play less, who have to play less games. People with more time.
I'll say I had a lot more fun with both Terraria and Minecraft after I did like an hour of research um, to figure out what I was doing, where I was going, what things did, because like those games don't like to explain what things even do. Like you literally have to figure out what they
Yeah,
do.
and that's just such a shame. I mean, Minecraft has a decent tutorial.
It does now.
Not always. Huh.
No, I mean Minecraft was as like bare bones and figure everything out. Like I'm pretty sure the community figured out Minecraft before the tutorial was ever in there.
But yeah, and I don't know. I wouldn't say Dark Souls controls terribly. It's just very precise. But then again, the way you have to hold like a bumper to jump, and jumping's actually somewhat important. That is weird. It's a little esoteric, I think, is the word.
Which game?
Dark Souls. Just respond a little fresh.
You have to hold a bumper to jump or
yeah,
something?
you have to hold a button and then hit the jump button. It's not just tap a button to jump.
Ah, gotcha.
So I think the controls could be a little better, and dodging. Like you have to dodge at a certain time. It's not just dodge and you're in a dodge state and you're not going to get hit. So that also takes some getting used to.
Yeah, and that sort of stuff I would like to learn. I have the patience for that, but I don't really like having to look up what this 12 different stats mean and what the different, upgrades mean and stuff like that when like the menus are so massive and obtuse. I get intimidated by games. Like I think there's like 9 classes in Demon's Souls. And when you hear a game is hard, like, oh, I want to make sure to choose the right class, but I have no idea what I'm looking at because the game's just starting. Stuff like that.
Yeah, agreed. And some of that does apply to Dark Souls, so I feel you there.
Okay. I've only played Demon's Souls. I haven't played either Dark Souls or Bloodborne.
Yeah, no, I don't know, Little Friar. I only played Dark Souls 2 and 3. I played 3 a little bit at a press event, but I personally don't see anything wrong with the way it feels. But I didn't play the first one. Cheer list, so I can look at this cheer list and see cheer from and to. So these are people I gave cheers to, and nobody gave me a cheer. How sad. I could look at their Xbox Live profiles if I want.
What a bunch of jerks! Yeah, send them nasty messages.
Should, right? So that was the whole game of Raiden V. It lasted approximately 80 minutes, I would say. Maybe a little bit longer.
Zero likes Dark Souls. There's no surprise there.
Here's a quick look at the stage select. You can see there's alternate versions of all these stages. So I'm going to have to, if I want to give this a real review, I need to see at least 1 or 2 alternate stages. So I'll have to go through that process. But being able to jump right into a stage and practice on it or whatever, totally an option. Hold on, what did that say? Okay. Then you have...
That's a ton of alternate. I mean, they're all just alternate paths, like Star Fox.
Let's have a quick look at the boss mission mode. You see there's 5 ranks of boss missions, so 5 big sets of them. And I will pick this one and we'll just go to it. We'll try the Moulin Rouge ship. Never have I seen that one. You have to use a specific weapon when you do this. Is that okay? Yes, of course it's okay. There's no other choice. That's Japanese games for you. So fighting this guy, I've got 3 bombs. Gotta do my best. And I only have 50 seconds to kill him off. That's interesting. That's the challenge.
Gonna be a race for the kill.
Yeah, I may not actually be able to do it. We'll see. So far, so good. The timer does stop when the boss is not vulnerable. Also good. sure hope I can kill him. I wonder if I'm allowed to die. Oh, I think I did it.
Nice. Did you get an achievement?
No, because it's only one little thing out of the whole mode. You might have to beat all of the ones or something. I'll have to look it up. But I like that they added a little something to give it more replay value, because a lot of times these games don't have any other modes that aren't just really the arcade mode with like a different pattern or something. So if you watched all the way through, here's just a reminder, Raiden V is a Japanese retail Xbox One title. You can import it and play it. You won't have any problem playing it. All the menus are very easy to understand. It's available at playasia.com. That's the word play-asia.com. Costs approximately $70, I believe. I bought from them plenty of times. They're a very safe place to order from. But there is a good chance that it will be released in America in some form, and we're going to pursue that with the publisher to find out more about that. Alright, thanks a lot, guys. Remember, whatever you do, don't hate, appreciate.
See ya. And that ought to hold the little SOBs.